Ladies and gentlemen, still here in the Sony area. This is, of course, God of War Ascension, and I'm here with Bruno. Bruno, do you just want to run us through name, job title, and where you work?
Oh, so yes, my name is Bruno Velazquez. I'm the lead game animator at Sony Santa Monica, and I'm working on God of War Ascension.
You're not too far from home.
No, not too far from home, actually.
Well,
not as far as you guys are.
Yeah, exactly. While the rest of us are going all around the place. Bruno's going to take us through the game. We're going to have a quick look at that, and then we're going to catch up with him afterwards to talk more about God of War Ascension.
So this demo starts. Yeah. So this basically focuses on what happens when 6 months after he accidentally killed his wife and daughter.
Right.
And he decides that he wants to break his bond with Ares. But Ares says, no, you can't walk away that easy.
Okay.
So this basically explains what happens with and what are the consequences of that action, of that decision. So as you can see here, I can pick up weapons from the ground and steal them from enemies as well. And I can switch between them seamlessly between the chains. And I could also discard my weapon as well.
Oh, nice.
So there's going to be a lot of these sub-weapons throughout the game that I can pick up and just use. So also we have this new tether mechanic where I can drag the enemy along, and I can still slash and fight, keep them at bay, and then use them as a weapon.
Wow.
And of course we still got the traditional brutal kills. So this is the Satyr Captain, one of the new enemies, so of course a little tougher than the rest.
Oh, nasty. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we still have those traditional God of War kills. And at the end of the demo, I will show you a brand new type of minigame that we want to introduce, that we're introducing this time around.
Okay.
So of course, keeping in line with the rest of the series, we got gigantic creatures that Kratos has to deal with. The sea monster trying to stop his progress. So this is about halfway through the game. So by this point, you already have acquired this ability, which is the life cycle ability. This allows you to basically rebuild or decay certain structures throughout the game. So here I'm actually going to rewind it so that I can use it to my advantage here. So I'm going to pause it in midair. Now I can navigate on the structure. And then we also revamped our navigation system so that it feels a little more kind of grounded and feels like Kratos is really interacting with the environment. So now I'm going to restore it to its pristine form so that I can use the elevator. So this will be used throughout the game in many of the puzzles.
Yep.
So yeah, this being a prequel, Kratos is younger and is a little bit more human than the previous games. So therefore, he actually saves people this time around. He's not quite the brutal guy. He's brutal, but not quite the guy that he becomes. So here's Javelin. Another one of the sub-weapons. So that life cycle ability I showed you earlier can also be used in combat. So I can suspend the enemy in midair. And then I can take my sub-weapon and discard it. And every time you discard one of your sub-weapons, you'll get a very more powerful attack.
Brutality is something chronic. It's awesome.
And here's that pesky sea creature trying to impede your progress again. But Kratos always finds a way to deal with these creatures. But just around every corner, there's always another enemy to contend with. So when you don't have a sub-weapon equipped, you could switch to hand-to-hand combat.
Yep.
So that's still something that, we didn't want to penalize you for not having a weapon. So. So this is the new Rage ability. You can turn this on during combat, and it will greatly enhance Kratos' moves, making them more powerful, and will actually make his moves, they'll just deal a lot more damage. So this ability, we used to have something similar in the previous games, but this time around, the way that you build up the meter to activate it is based on how good you're playing.
Right.
Your combos, whether you parry, whether you dodge at the last moment, and they're all tied. This ability is also tied to elements. The one that we're showcasing right now is the fire element, but there'll be some other elements you can acquire in the final game. So right up here, we're going to be introduced to another one of our new enemies, which is the Elephantar. Sort of like a Minotaur, but with an elephant head instead of a bull's head. And it's going to be one of the many fierce enemies Kratos will face. So tied to the Rage ability is a magic. So here we're going to perform the fire magic. So there'll definitely be other ones that you can unlock and use throughout the game. So I'm going to tether this guy, slam him, use him as a weapon. That made him mad, so he's not very happy. So Kratos is, of course, he doesn't know quite yet that he's a demigod, and he has not become a god yet. So we want to have moments like this where, Kratos seems a little bit more vulnerable than he was before.
Yeah.
But in the end, Kratos always finds a way to deal with his opponents. Now, this is a new type of minigame that we wanted to showcase. It's a promptless, buttonless minigame. So here I'm actually stabbing him real time. I have to watch out the animation and dodge at the right time. And at this point, Kratos just had enough with this sea creature, so he decided to just go and deal with it himself. And that's the end of the demo.
That's the end of the demo. All right. Should we do a quick hello, how's your father? Cool. All right, so that was a good little run through. Now, tell us exactly how big are the levels? How long do you expect the playthrough to be for pretty much for a whole of Ascension?
Okay, so the approximate length of the single-player campaign is going to be similar to the length of God of War 1. So however long it took you to beat that, that's approximately the same length.
Okay, and you've got lots of different mechanics and different other bits and pieces in the game in terms of gameplay. What about graphics and the other things like that? Are people going to be seeing more in God of War Ascension?
Definitely, there's going to be improvements all around, to the combat, to the navigation. There's going to be a lot more enemies, cooler enemies, different types of enemies. A lot of the sub-weapon system, for example, that's a great improvement where now you can pick up and drop weapons throughout the game. It's just going to keep the combat really fresh. And that's some of the things that we're going to improve upon.
The life cycle element, how much does that play an important part in the game in terms of the puzzle element?
Oh, it plays a huge part, not only in combat, but mainly in the puzzles. There's going to be, the one that we showed right now is just a very simple version of it, but there's going to be a lot of uses for it later on in the game, and a lot more complex uses of it as well.
Oh, very good. And just from your perspective, how much have you enjoyed putting this thing together?
Oh, I mean, I love it. I've been working on the God of War series since God of War 2. I know that there's a great fan base, and our goal is just to please the fans, to make each time a bigger and better game. And I think Ascension is definitely going to be the best of the series, especially with the expansion of multiplayer. This is the first time we've ever done that, and I think this is very exciting for us.
All right, well, let's quickly talk about multiplayer, just seeing as we've got that on the brain. What's in store for players who are going to pick that one up?
Okay, so first of all, I just want to ensure to the players that the same God of War experience that you're used to is going to translate directly into multiplayer. Epic pieces, the epic set pieces, the great fluid combat, the brutality, but now you're just doing it with friends or enemies, if you choose. Now, the cool thing about it is that you don't play as Kratos, but you create your own warrior. And you choose an allegiance to one of 4 gods at the beginning. So it's going to be Zeus, Poseidon, Ares, or Hades. Based on that decision, you'll unlock, you'll have a different branching path that will give you new abilities. You'll get different magic attacks, different weapons, different armor that you can equip. So throughout this multiplayer experience, you're going to upgrade your character, similar to how you do it with Kratos, and then really, really have fun online and see your character grow and get stronger.
So the multiplayer, just so that people know, is going to be a purely online experience, or is there going to be a cooperative element to it as well, in a LAN sort of situation?
Well, definitely it's going to be online, and that's the mode that we're showing at the show floor here at E3. Other modes are still being discussed, but nothing is off the table yet.
I tried to get it from him. I tried to. He didn't want to budge.
I was well trained.
No, very good. And in terms of the multiplayer elements, it's obviously an experience-based type of thing. Grow your character, grow yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And the mode that we're showing here at E3 is 4-on-4, a team of Trojans and a team of Spartans. And the mode that we're showing is called Favor of the Gods. So the goal of it is to accumulate a certain amount of points, to please the gods, obviously. And the way that you do that, there's several different ways. You can run around the map collecting chests. You can do capture points that are spread throughout the map. You can kill the opponent, and also get some kills by using traps. In addition to all of that, there's a giant Cyclops in the background wreaking havoc, and you have the option of killing him, and that would award the highest amount of points, which would most likely, grant you the win. So there's a lot of ways to play, a lot of ways to strategy, a lot of ways to win the match.
Sounds fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, God of War Ascension is going to be coming at you and hitting you hard. When are we looking for it, Bruno?
It's going to be March 12, 2013.
So there you go. Keep that one appealed to your calendars, because we certainly will be. God of War Ascension, it's coming leaps and bounds, single player, multiplayer, everything. You're going to be loving it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your time, Bruno.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here.
No worries. That is E3 2012. This is the Sony era, God of War Ascension.